for a while, but it is now open to one lane of traffic. But the police are warning that the road is still slippery because of freezing rain, and the police are asking drivers not to slow down to take pictures as they pass by the crash scene. A 2-year-old traveling on an international flight has died. Saudi Arabian Airlines Flight 35 made an emergency medical landing at the St. John's International Airport earlier today. The Royal Newfoundland Constabulary confirmed the toddler's sudden death. Police and the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner will investigate, but the force does not believe the death is suspicious. According to FlightView.com, the Boeing 777 was heading to Washington, D.C. from Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. The plane left St. John's at around 3 o'clock this afternoon. Well, some people in this province are paying some serious coin to see Barack Obama. The former American president is in St. John's tonight as part of a cross-Canada speaking tour. My co-host Carolyn Stokes is downtown tonight where the action and the conversation is taking place. So Carolyn, sounds pretty loud down there. What can people expect?
It is, Anthony. I'm live here at the Delta Hotel for the pre-show reception hosted by the St. John's Board of Trade. In about an hour from now, the 44th President of the United States of America will take the stage at Mile One Center. Now, the audience can expect him to reflect on his 2-term presidency, life after politics, and the current state of affairs of the United States. And the person guiding that conversation is Zita Cobb. Now, she's known as a social entrepreneur. She's the CEO of the Shorefast Foundation, the innkeeper at the Fogo Island Inn, and a member of the Order of Canada. And she joins me right now. Ms. Cobb, thank you so much.
Carolyn, hello.
So you were just telling me quickly, you were outside. There's a big lineup out in front of Mile One Center already?
Yes, thank heavens it's not raining.
Okay.
Yes.
So in a short time from now, you are going to be getting on that stage, sitting across from Barack Obama and asking him questions.
A woman was taken to hospital with serious injuries. The RNC says the driver was impaired, and at 8 o'clock, a 58-year-old man was arrested and charged with impaired driving causing bodily harm. In other news, Nalcor says one of its workers was injured near Churchill Falls because somebody stole copper wire. Last month, a crew of line workers was in a yard about 50 kilometers west of Churchill Falls, and one of them was working 25 meters off the ground when he came into contact with equipment that normally would have been grounded, but it wasn't, and the workers suffered an electric shock. The injury was minor, but Nalcor says it could have been much, much worse. Well, staying with safety, there are concerns in Lodge Bay, Labrador over their capabilities to fight fire. This after a fire destroyed an old school building and spread to some nearby sheds last Thursday. One man in the community says he lost everything that he has ever worked for in that blaze, and he doesn't want to see it happen again. Here now is Jacob Barker with that story.
Well, it was in Lodge Bay's old schoolhouse that Keith Rumbold ran his small twine company, but after stepping out for just a few minutes last week, all that was gone. Along with it, he estimates about $500,000 in fishing equipment, as well as some things that are irreplaceable.
Stuff that was handed down by my father and grandfather that you'll never get back. It's sentimental value.
Rumbold also acts as the district chair for the community. He says the town's equipment is old. While they had jackets and gloves, they had no pants, and the boots were too small. And that's not the worst of it.
We had 2 pump engines in the firehouse. 2 of them failed. None of them worked. We had a 4-wheeler that we had our cart and hoses and that hooked onto it. Couldn't get her to start. All of our equipment was failing.
There are no fire hydrants in Lodge Bay, and Rumbold says they had no way to get water initially to fight the fire. They had to wait for a crew to come from about 10 kilometers away in Mary's Harbor. Later, the crew from Red Bay also assisted. They came from 83 kilometers away. Rumbold says things have to change.
So last night we started to try and restructure our fire brigade. The next time it could be worse. There could be somebody trapped in a house.
He says they have a large population of seniors and limited ability to tax the community. He's calling on all levels of government to help out. Well, Rumbold says he considers it an emergency right now that Lodge Bay firefighters don't have access to water when they're in an emergency situation. He's calling on any neighboring communities that might have a pump to spare to lend it to the community until it can figure out how to get one of its own. Jacob Barker, CBC News, Labrador.
Just to add to that story now, today Lisa Dempster, the MHA for the region, said she's spoken with the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Environment about the community's request. Well, police are asking for the public's help following an incident of arson on Bell Island. It's suspected that a house on Carbage's Loop was deliberately set on fire. The home was destroyed 2 Sundays ago. Now, it was unoccupied at the time. Anyone with information is asked to contact Bell Island RCMP, and they can also leave an anonymous tip with Crime Stoppers. Well, embattled hockey commentator Don Cherry is refusing to apologize for what many are calling racist comments. Sportsnet dropped Cherry yesterday after an on-air rant about newcomers to Canada not wearing poppies. Cherry says he meant to say everyone should wear a poppy, but he is not withdrawing his remarks. Public reaction to his firing has been mixed.
I feel that everybody in this country that likes our way of life, these beautiful people gave their lives in their 20s and in their teens for our way of life. They should wear a poppy, and if that's offensive, then there's nothing I can do about it. That's the way I feel, and I'm not changing, and I don't regret a thing.
It's Don Cherry. He's 85.
When it's time to go, it's time to go.
It's not the first time the outspoken Cherry's been in trouble. In 4 decades on television, he has been in hot water a number of times for politically incorrect or remarks people thought were insensitive. The 85-year-old has always been a vocal supporter of Remembrance Day and military veterans, and thousands have signed an online petition asking Sportsnet to take him back. Well, to local hockey now, but no poppies. We know the Newfoundland Growlers are pretty good at scoring goals on the ice, but one player in particular has also been hitting fundraising goals off the ice. Here's Matthew Bradley with that story.
4 years ago, I wanted to, start a fundraiser, start a charity for, for any cause I didn't really know, and it ended up being Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So. Yeah, in juniors, I said however many goals I get, I'm going to donate a certain amount, and kind of got people to pledge along the way with me, and here we are, and I think we've raised about a total of $7,000 around there, so it's been awesome.
Well, we do Hockey Fights Cancer is a thing the whole league does, and so for us on November 16th we have a game dedicated to that, and our 50-50 draw will go, the funds will go towards cancer. We have some guys on our team who are doing some work in that regard, so I think every family is touched by cancer in some form or fashion. We're no different, and certainly a lot of our players feel that.
You know, I have friends that their parents have had breast cancer, and I've been around it a little bit, but nothing personal. And like I said, I started 4 years ago, and in my first year doing it, someone I consider a second mother to me, she ended up getting breast cancer, Darcy Ashley, and she's fought it. She's cancer free right now, and she's doing the best she ever has.
What was that like when she was diagnosed?
I think it just meant, it kicked it up a gear. It made it mean that much more to me and all the people around me. And like I said, the following and the support we've had over the 4 years has been amazing. I think just giving back, we're on a high platform here with hockey, having hockey, and being able to give back to the community and raise money for a good cause, it just makes it that much more special.
Well, before we get to the weather, fingers and maybe even some feathers are crossed for a bald eagle's recovery. Take a look now. This is Journey, and she was found in northwestern Pennsylvania over the weekend in pretty bad shape. Multiple injuries, including a cracked beak, you see there, as well as lead poisoning, which is a common thing with eagles from all the carcasses they eat. And shockingly, she's also 19 and a half years old.
Wow, another shocker. According to her tags, Journey's originally from South Island, Placentia Bay, which is 2,100 kilometers away.
So now that great bird of prey is resting in Pennsylvania, and if all goes well, she will be released back into the wild once she recovers. And who knows, maybe she'll fly back to Newfoundland someday. I know. Pretty
crazy.
Sturdy. I hope that she makes 19 and a half.
19 and a half. I didn't realize that
it's
was
legal,
there.
legal. Sorry, couldn't resist. Yeah.
Good one.
Cold this morning. I
It
think
was
the eagle might
chilly.
be happier in Pennsylvania than here, at least this morning.
You know, actually, maybe not.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I was talking to my daughter in Calgary.
Yeah,
Freezing.
it is cold, and that cold's extending all the way down through the States. But yeah, it was a chilly start here this morning. Let's take a look at those temperatures. Started off at -2 here in St. John's, -3 in Port aux Basques. You can see the coldest was Lab City, overnight low of -19. Now, if we take a look at the current temperatures, you can see we're starting to see those warmer temperatures move in, and they've been steadily climbing through the day for most areas. 9 degrees right now in Port aux Basques. Corner Brook finally reached above 0. We're going to see these temperatures continue to climb as we head through the night tonight, and you can see we're starting to see that precipitation change over from snow to rain. Even saw a stray lightning bolt just northwest of Burgeo a little bit about 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. But that is going to continue. The rain's going to continue to track a little bit further north overnight tonight. But again, those temperatures are on the rise. And we're going to see temperatures in the teens in some places tonight. So here's a look at the current watches and warnings. Right now we have a rainfall warning from Corner Brook down through to Port aux Basques and over to Burgeo. Or we're going to see significant rainfall overnight tonight, heavy at times. And then we've got that snow from the same system up through Labrador. So snowfall warnings from Happy Valley, Goose Bay towards the coast. Now the Straits also in that rainfall warning, and that's because you're going to see rain switch over to, or snow rather, switch over to rain by the early morning hours. And then we've got a winter storm warning for Makovic and a little bit further north, and that's because of the same system. So that snow is going to continue to track a little bit further north. You can see after midnight, everything on the island should change over to rain. Again, heavy at times, and we're going to see that heavy snow up through Labrador. Those winds are also going to ramp up for the majority of us. So we're looking at windy conditions overnight and quite a bit of rainfall. So here's a look at your temperatures. Again, going to see those temperatures climb into the double digits. So these will be around midnight. We should start to see these temperatures. Corner Brook 10 degrees, 11 for St. John's. Those winds, again, picking up somewhere between 20 to 40 kilometers, 40 to 60 along the coast, but generally out of the south. That's why we're seeing some of those warmer temperatures. -14 for Lab City, and then -6 for Cartwright, with those winds gusting between 30 to 50 kilometers per hour. So you're looking at snow and blowing snow. Now tomorrow that rain's going to continue to track a little bit further east through the day, but in behind that we start to get back into that onshore flow. So everything should change over to snow along the west coast. And you could pick up some more accumulating snow, somewhere between 5 to 10 centimeters, not out of the question as we really ramp up into that onshore flow by the time the overnight rolls around. So how much snow are we talking? Up through Labrador, Happy Valley, Goose Bay, this takes us through to tomorrow morning. We could see anywhere from, I'd say 15 to 20 centimeters is a good bet for you, and then along the coast anywhere from 10 to 15. Additional snowfall expected through the day tomorrow, and I'd say anywhere from 30 to 40 centimeters is possible for those areas. And then there's that 5 to 10 that I was talking about on the west coast. So here's your temperatures tomorrow afternoon. These are going to be your morning temperatures. Then they're going to drop through the day down to the single digits along the west coast, staying in the teens for the most part with those rain and windy conditions for eastern Newfoundland and then up through Labrador. Cool again for Lab City. Churchill Falls, you could pick up between 10 to 15 centimeters of snow through the day tomorrow, and then you're looking at temperatures around 9 degrees for Mary's Harbor, and then that temperature will drop as well. So that's a look at tomorrow's forecast. We'll look a little bit ahead when I come back.
Thanks, Ashley. Well, your chances of survival are now better if you happen to suffer cardiac arrest in one of our schools. The Heart and Stroke Foundation says it has achieved its goal to have automated external defibrillators, or AEDs, in every school. Here now, Cease Hare has that story.
Preparing to shock. Everyone clear. Press flashing button.
It took $1 million and 5 years to get this life-saving equipment in all 274 schools in this province. And when these students were in grade 6, they were trained in CPR and how to use the AED. And then more were trained.
We had over 1,100 grade 8 students across the province who were sent these kits and who had a CPR instructor who went in and taught them how to do CPR. And then we asked them, go home and teach your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your aunt, your uncle, your nan, your pop.
Chest compressions in combination with an AED can double a person's chance of survival. Years ago, when the push was on in this province to get the devices in every rink, community center, and arts and culture center, schools became a priority.
A long time ago, somebody had said to me, really, it's so low risk, isn't it? Do you really need them in all schools? And I said, we have fire extinguishers in all schools. How many times has a fire extinguisher actually been used? You only need to use an AED once to save a life, to make all of that money worth it.
It's now hoped that more businesses will get AEDs and that a registry can be set up.
We'd like to know where they are so that 911 can direct a person calling in, assisting someone in cardiac arrest, where to go to get that AED.
But says in other provinces, apps are used that can pinpoint the location of an AED nearby. She would also like to see CPR training added to the school curriculum in this province. Cease here, CBC News, St. John's.
Welcome back. Time to check back in with my co-host Carolyn Stokes, who's near Mile 1 Center tonight. I can tell looking at Twitter, Carolyn's pretty busy down there. Fair bit of Obama fever or what?
Oh, no doubt. Right now I'm live at the Delta Hotel where the pre-show reception is happening, organized by the St. John's Board of Trade. And joining me now is one of the people responsible for this big show tonight, Janice Burns, CEO of, or the chair of the St. John's Board of Trade. So tell us how all of this came about.
It's really quite amazing. I've been joking tonight that we're like the dog that caught the bus, because once we looked at President Obama's schedule for Halifax and Montreal, we said, well, why not? We checked around with other chambers of commerce and boards of trade throughout the country who've also hosted him. And so we submitted an application, made the pitch for our province, and they accepted.
What are the logistics around pulling off an event like this, bringing a former president to visit a province?
It's a lot of work, especially once we got the approval. It wasn't until early October. Most other centers have had months to put this together, but of course, until you have that final signature on the contract, you can't go public, you can't really start to get the ball in motion. So we've put it together really within the last 5 weeks, and of course, President Obama's team is incredible to work with. They've done this so many times before, but you work hand in glove with them as they have to approve everything. So.
And the person that's going to be moderating tonight, Zita Cobb, we had her on the show earlier. Why was she chosen as the person to sit down with Barack Obama?
Zita was such an obvious choice because she's a very successful businesswoman, a well-known Newfoundlander, a member of the Order of Canada, and she's a visionary in her own right. I mean, she left the island so early. She made her way in the world, very successful in business, sailed around the world and said, you know what, we're a unique culture. Our culture, our people, is our strength, and she had that vision for Fogo, and look at what she's done for Fogo and Change Island. So she knows how to get things done and use business as a model to solve problems. We thought, who better as an ambassador of Newfoundland and Labrador than Ms. Cobb to be on the stage with the president, a visionary in his own right, obviously.
And what about the questions? Where did they come from? How much of a hand did Zita Cobb and the Board of Trade have in putting together the questions for tonight?
More than you may think. Obviously, you know, there's a pre-approval system that goes on, but Zita has kept that pretty close to her chest as well. So it'll be a real interesting conversation, because those that know Zita, she's not intimidated by anybody. But of course, we're all very respectful and honored to have President Obama here.
And it's not just Obama that's going to be on stage tonight. There are some locals that were selected to do a performance for Obama. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, so the Shalloway Youth Choir will be singing both national anthems and then some songs with Tim Baker and Alan Doyle. And again, wonderful ambassadors for the province. I mean, internationally recognized, all these singers. So it's very, very exciting. And the kids are so excited to be part of this. It's really quite an inspirational evening.
All right. Well, Janice Byrne, good luck, and thank you so much for speaking with us. We have about 25 minutes before it all gets underway, and you were saying about how excited the Shalloway Youth Choir is to be on stage tonight. If you want to see just how excited, stick around, because they're going to be on the show a little bit later along with Tim Baker. We went to their rehearsal last night, and so we'll hear from them later in the show. Anthony?
Okay, Carol, thank you very much. It's Carolyn Stokes downtown. Well, actually, we're going to talk about the local talent right now. Tim Baker, he was actually supposed to be in Montreal tonight, but when the offer came, there was a chance to perform for former President Barack Obama. He said he was more than happy to move things around in his schedule, and so the musician, as Carolyn mentioned, is set to warm up the stage at Mile 1 ahead of the talk that's going to start shortly, and Tim Baker won't be alone.
Can I go back?
They're all so excited. We're all so excited and really, really just can't believe that we had this opportunity.
This is incredible. We found out last Tuesday or last Wednesday, I think, that it was happening. I got the email while I was in class. I was like, no way. It's the most random thing. When the tickets came out, I was like, Dad, I have to go see this. But he got the ticket for himself, and it came in, his friend, and I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. But now we also get to be there, and that's amazing. And I'm just so blown away. This is wild.
Now is that gonna, does that all remain? Can I go back and have it all again?
I'm very delighted, yeah. I'm playing the first tune by myself, but the second and third tunes I'm playing with Shalloway. Yeah, the sort of all-star crew from Shalloway Youth Choir, yeah. I'm going to sing 3 songs off my new record, a song called Spirit, which is about being a musician in Newfoundland, in St. John's in particular. I'll be singing a song called All Hands, which is basically about growing up in the Waterford Valley. And again, a song about St. John's. I wanted to sing, to welcome him with songs about this place. And then I'm going to sing a song called Don't Let Me Go Yet. Very sudden drop, and I think maybe that's good. We'd probably never get another opportunity to meet himself, and I'm a huge fan. It's very exciting. Probably there's no one famous I'd rather meet, and so I'm excited to meet him and play for him.
You could take my life when I die. I'm only going back to those Sally Black nights.
It's really overwhelming if I'm being honest. Just seeing how many people there are, but it's also really, really exhilarating. Like, it's a very, you're never gonna get to do this ever again feeling, so like kind of relish it, I think is the right word.
Oh my gosh, this is one of the most extraordinary experiences that we have had. It talks to everything this choir is about, which is building community, about culture, about leadership, and the kids having the opportunity to discover leadership. So, when it comes to music making and what Shalloway is all about, this is probably on the very, very top of anything we've ever done.
I feel like before going on stage, I'm going to be super excited and a little bit nervous, but then when you get on stage, you kind of block all that out and you just kind of feel like you're there and you're just in the moment with the song, and as the singing, you're just trying to do your best there, but when you get off the stage, oh my gosh, it's going to be amazing. And just the fact that we're going to be in the same building as Barack Obama is incredible.
Well, a little earlier when I was talking to you, I mentioned Calgary with a relative. I also spoke to some family on the mainland of Montreal. They're getting lots of snow.
Yes.
And we're going to get a little bit of heat.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, tomorrow is going to be quite warm here. The temperature record for tomorrow here in St. John's is 16.1 degrees.
16?
16.1, and I have 16 degrees in the forecast, so let's see what happens.
November, I'll take that.
Yeah, I'd say. So here's what we're looking at. So it is going to be rain, and I mentioned that 16-degree temperature. Definitely going to be rain tomorrow afternoon and quite windy across the island. And then as that low continues to push a little bit further north, we are going to see that switch over with that onshore flurry activity expected along the west coast. Burin Peninsula could also pick up some snow overnight into the early morning hours on Thursday. And then in behind that on Thursday, a ridge of high pressure actually moves in, so things should clear out for the most part. More than likely going to see a few cloudy periods through the day, but those temperatures are going to stay quite cold. But high pressure does look like it will dominate, so it should be a pretty quiet day weather-wise. And then the next system will move in late day on Thursday. And with that, we're going to see the potential for snow again along the west coast, certainly up through Labrador. But again, we get back into that southerly flow, so we're going to see another push of warm air. And it looks like that's going to happen overnight on Friday and then continue through the day on Saturday. So here's your temperatures for Thursday. -2 for Corner Brook. As we head towards the east, we're looking at 1 degree in St. John's. But again, staying relatively clear. These flurries that I have in here will be in the morning hours, and then we should see the sun peek out at times. Happy Valley Goose Bay looking at -5, -10 for Lab City with that potential for some flurries. And Cartwright, you're looking at a temperature near -4 as well. Now, over the next couple of days, a little bit of a roller coaster in those temperatures, which we have been seeing. This is no surprise over the last couple of days. So here's a look at your 5-day forecast for St. John's and eastern Newfoundland. After the 16-degree temperature on Wednesday, Thursday is going to feel downright chilly with 1 degree as the daytime high. 5 on Friday, but it does look like it'll be relatively quiet. So we should see the sun peek out Saturday. First chance we could see some accumulating snow potentially, but with that temperature around 7 degrees, it will drop like a rock through the day. And that's when we should see that change over to some flurries or wet snow possibly on Saturday. Sunday looks lovely though, and 1 degree. Now for central Newfoundland, -2 by Thursday, and then you're going to hover just above 0 to round out the weekend by Sunday. That's when we're looking at that best chance of sunshine and 0 degrees as of now. For western Newfoundland, pretty much hanging on to that onshore flow, so really a chance of flurries right across the board into Sunday with that hovering around the 0 degree mark. And then up through eastern Labrador, -5 for Thursday and 1 degree by the time Friday rolls around. And then we're going to dip back down below 0 to round out the weekend there. And then for western Labrador, minus double digits right now. For Friday, you're looking at minus single digits, and then we dip back down again on Saturday. But again, looking at long-term potential for some flurries. So just before we leave you tonight, wanted to share this wonderful weather photo. This one was taken in Fermuse by
Beautiful
Linda
Fermuse.
Coulter. Yes,
Yep.
Gorgeous. Thank you so much for sending that in. And if you have any weather photos you'd like to share with us, send them to nlphotos@cbc.ca.
Well, thanks, Sasha. Our next story is about the TV and movie magic you don't see. Foley is the art of creating sound effects. So take, say, tonight's episode of the hit show Hudson and Rex. To appreciate just how much Foley goes into that show, you really have to go deep inside NIFCO headquarters in downtown St. John's.
It brings any TV show or film to life. It's the final stage is to pull it all together. It's a bit of the glue that really brings it to life that nobody notices.
You good to go?
Ready.
Miles Chaffee's PhD focus was Norse history.
Well, we found Miles dead in a Viking costume. Pretty big coincidence.
I still can't believe he's dead. He was a very brilliant young man.
An episode is shot over a number of days, and so the surroundings are often different. Like a plane could fly over, it's earlier in the day, so just the atmosphere sounds different. So when they cut it all together, they need something that kind of glues it all together so that it doesn't seem like it was shot over a few days. And we'll put in any of the human sounds, all the human sounds, any animal sounds that are made by interacting with a prop, an object, each other, This is a water bottle that I put a little bit of air in and then close the top off. And I use it to make the sound of a screeching tire. With Hudson and Rex, there's a lot of dog trainers on the scene where we're working with the animals. So there's whistles, we trigger the dogs to react. So often we need to take that out so that you don't hear that. And then any of the sound that was there around, that type of a sound, that whistle or that, call, it's gone as well. So if someone's picking up a coffee cup, if someone's sitting in an office chair or walking across the room and the dog needs to follow them and you hear the whistle, all that has to go. So then we put all that back in. It has to be there. If it's not there, it's just you notice it. You notice it.
I'm Lacey. When I was 16, I contracted meningitis and septicemia.
We're checking back in with people whose lives have changed in an instant.
When I think about everything that happened, I almost feel like it happened to somebody else. It was very, very confusing.
It was scary when they said the words meningitis.
And to see where they are today.
We have a little boy and we have another little boy on the way.
Lacey Pickett on the next segment of This Is My Story, coming up on Here and Now.
Well, back in 2012, singer-songwriter Kathy Stock was hired to write a song about overcoming adversity, but what she didn't know was that just 6 months later, that song would become her own personal anthem when Stock, just 29, was diagnosed with cancer.
I was commissioned to write a song for TEDx St. John's. So they had their first TEDx event in St. John's, Newfoundland in 2012. And so they were looking for singer-songwriters to write a song around the theme, which was overcoming adversity. So they reached out to me, I wrote this tune, and they ended up liking it. So that's how it was originally used, was in that evening.
We have never been the kind to fall apart.
I was 28 when I wrote it. I hadn't really overcome much adversity in my life up to that point. I was kind of living my dream. I was, singing and songwriting and doing all those things. But 6 months later, I just went in for a standard checkup with my family physician and was told that they thought I had some masses in front of my heart, and later was determined that I had Hodgkin's lymphoma. So I was 29 when I was diagnosed, and one of the speakers from the TEDx event actually reached out to me once I kind of put it out there that I had cancer, and said, wow, that song means so much more now. And it hadn't really dawned on me how much this had been an anthem for something I hadn't even experienced yet.
Mourn the things we've lost.
That was the challenging piece for sure as a mom, and life doesn't stop. I think that was one of the things that we realized, my husband and I being 29, he was 35, and the bills still come, and the kids still need to be picked up from school, and life still happens. And so there was also this fear and this stress of, what if things don't go the way that we hope that they do? So we were dealing with all those things, navigating our kids' emotions and all of that. It was a really, really challenging time, and it was something that it gave me so much perspective on something I never would have considered before, the struggles of not just cancer, but cancer in young adulthood. There's just it's not harder, but it's unique.
We have overcome.
And through that process, I wrote music, I wrote songs. And finally, it was probably the summer of 2018 when I thought I've got enough stuff together that I'm proud of, that represents me, and decided it was time to put it out there. So I'd been gigging professionally for about 11 years at this point, but the time just felt right. So this album that I put together, the title track is Overcome. That was really important to me that be recognized and on there.
Overcome. Well, Stock says with the help of family, friends, and Young Adult Cancer Canada, she is now cancer-free. And our thanks to Jeremy Eaton for putting that item together. Well, The Butterfly is a work of art created by Marcus Goss, and Goss is a Mi'kmaq artist who wanted to illustrate the change and transformation within the Mi'kmaq culture. And after being displayed in the CB Nui Festival on the West Coast, the piece was acquired by the Halibut First Nation. CBC freelancer Tom Cochran prepared this look at the Butterfly Project.
Every year I'd visit my grandmother, and whenever she would talk with me about Native culture, I was always interested and curious. My name is Marcus Goss, and I'm a Mi'kmaq artist. Art was a part of my life since I was 21 years old. I thought I could always draw, and my parents bought me a paint set, and I decided just to paint, and then it just seemed like I just haven't stopped since then. People were saying, well, Marcus, you're Mi'kmaq, why don't you start slipping some Mi'kmaq culture into your art? But it wasn't really until I taught Indian Brook First Nations that I learned about Mi'kmaq art, like different components. That's when I started putting the Mi'kmaq star, double curves, and Mi'kmaq hieroglyphics, which I became really intrigued about. When I talked to those elders at the school, and they said to me, Marcus, there's hieroglyphs that the Mi'kmaq have used for years. There's Bibles translated with them and everything. And I said, oh, really? And they said, you can also use this in your artwork. So ever since I got those charts and copies, I've been using them in my art since 2008. And we're one of the few native tribes in the world that actually has hieroglyphics. Missionaries used those hieroglyphics to try to talk with us or try to convert us to Christianity. We were able to use some of those hieroglyphs after for our own art and to convey our own messages, such as the one I have in my piece here, Butterfly, Mimi Gej, which represents spiritual growth and transformation. I wanted to show that Newfoundland has experienced tremendous growth in Indigenous culture, and I wanted to share with them my passion and love for Native art. We start off as a caterpillar, we learn, and then it's almost a metaphor to show that before I painted the butterfly, we had it as a black and white painting, and then when we all colored it, it became a butterfly and flew off. We've had 200 people now tonight actually paint the butterfly, and they've all done little bits and pieces. Some people have done a full square, some people have done a quarter of a full square. And other people took off and they filled it in. It's almost as if they're saying, I've got your back, you know, I've got your cultural back by helping you fill that little piece in that you missed, you know.
We'll wind down with a good TV story for you. Some fans of the hit show Jeopardy were moved to tears last night. This after a contestant flashed a sign saying, "What is we love you, Alex?"
Oh, what is we love you, Alex? That's very kind of you. Thank you. Cost you $19.95. You're left with $5. Okay.
Alex Trebek has been outspoken about his ongoing struggle with pancreatic cancer, and he recently revealed he's having another round of treatment. As you may recall, that Trebek's Canadian, grew up in Sudbury, Ontario. He got his start at the CBC. He's been the face of Jeopardy for 35 years now, and the show is holding a special episode to raise money for pancreatic cancer later this week. Remarkable story. Anyhow, a lot of people, of course, Canadians, very proud of Alex Trebek and what he's done with Jeopardy, and a lot of us wishing him the very, very best. And we appreciate you spending part of your evening with us. That's Here and Now for tonight. I'm Anthony Germain for all of us here at Here and Now. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow.